Yeah.
Like at the Maple.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, the Maple Tainter in Little Menominee, Wisconsin, is one of the 15 most beautiful theaters in the world.
That's a lot, saying a
That's
lot.
saying, because again, you have to think Europe, you have to think Asia, you have to think, I mean, even like South America, Menominee, Wisconsin.
Yeah, the rest of the U.S. The rest of the U.S. Come on, guys, what you doing?
Yeah, New York, L.A., Chicago.
I mean, I'm sure they're on the list somewhere in there, but yeah, no, this is just beautiful. Oh my gosh, it lived up to everything I expected and more.
It gave me three vibes when I walked in. Because just looking at the outside, it looks like a castle, but it also kind of looks like a church. So it gave me like heavy like church vibes. It also gave me Orpheum Theater downtown vibes in the way it was kind of set up. Orpheum Theater is bigger, but you know, basically the same kind of setup. And then it gave me Glen Sheen vibes, which of course is a big manor up in Duluth, which we toured and is just absolutely freaking gorgeous. So yeah, so we were at this, you know, 200-year-old or however old it is.
1886, I think, around, give or take. They had it.
They erected it. So
it's named after
Mabel Tainter.
Yeah, and
we got actual tickets.
We said, oh no, she was only 20 years old.
Yeah, 1866 to 1866 to 1886.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she's only 20. So I want to look into the history of Miss Tainter and see what's going on, and why they erected a theater in her name.
Yeah, and it was from what I had kind of read on the different like plaques and paintings and stuff.
Yeah, because there was history everywhere in this place.
And it looked like, you know, they were, what's the word, patrons of the local arts and such and so forth, and supporters. So I guess, you know, what better way to honor someone than to keep awesome art alive?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
And it's beautiful.
It is absolutely.
I mean, even down to the wrought iron, bronzed chair legs for the seats, like just every little nook and cranny of that place was gorgeous.
And then as you pointed out, even because the front is all, we believe, sandstone, and even on the stairs, you could tell that they're walked on because they were like worn. You could feel the footprints in them.
Be like almost not divots, but like just like little
just
down. Just from wear. So it was just like so neat.
It was just so cool. It was just. So reading that, it's like, okay, so we're gonna have an extreme metal show in this basically like classical theater, not a big theater. No, the actual room was a lot smaller than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, the pictures online, I thought
made
it
look huge,
like 4 times as big as that. But I mean, I'm not disappointed. It was actually nice to have that. So that's just the perfect size.
Oh, absolutely.
It was enough for everybody, but not so big that you're like, oh, I'm playing to a half of a thing, you know. But yeah, no, it was gorgeous and perfect.
And again, side note, if they continue this, I'd love to get there and just see that room packed.
Oh yes.
It would sound so much better because the people would absorb all the sound. I mean, the sound was incredible anyway. And just to have, that'd just be cool.
Just the thought that, look at us. We're all, you know, we got this place.
Yeah, I mean, even the crowd that was there.
We had a good crowd.
Was probably half capacity of the floor.
About,
give or take at peak.
I was trying to count like the people down in the mosh. Like if we put those in chairs, how many people do we have?
If we settle everybody together.
I think I counted around 50 to 60 is what we had there.
That probably sounds about right. Yeah,
because I was trying to count, like if we take them, we had like 20 to 25 people down in the pit, and then probably equal amount up in the, well, a little less.
And then there's probably some people in the balcony, so probably give or take.
Yeah, so I counted around 50-ish.
Which at any club in the city is like a good crowd. So I
felt like we did good.
Half expecting there to be more people, but then people are probably like, what? People just like confused by it and be like,
but for a first metal show at that venue, that is I thought was just, wow, good turnout.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know.
And then, I mean, if you saw the vlog, you saw the shirts that we were wearing, because we got asked at least twice at 2 different places if we were going to.
Yeah, they're like, "Are you going to the show
at the Mabel?"
At the Mabel? I'm like, oh, how did you know?
How did you know? We don't sound that at all.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them was the guy at Synergy.
Oh yes,
and
yeah.
they put on the show.
Yeah,
they put on the show. So obviously he was asking. But yeah, and then we were looking at coming up November is the Zinner Murder show, Zinner Murder Fest.
Yeah.
However you pronounce it, which is like a 10-band lineup at Synergy. It starts at like 3 o'clock. It'll be all afternoon.
Yeah, I
It'll
took
be
a picture of that too because I wanted
somewhere.
to make sure. Where are you? I took 2 pictures of it. It's in the middle. There it is. Zimmerderfest.
Yeah, Zimmerderfest.
Zimmerderfest. Yeah, Narcotic Wasteland, something Autopsy, Demonic Autopsy, Gorgatron, Nest, some more that I can't really read because it's too tiny right now. Dead Souls
Symphony, that's the band that Andy plays with.
Iced Wrist. I can't read any of the rest of them. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, you can look it up. It's August 12th.
August 12th, which is a Saturday at Zimmergy in Menominee.
Doors at 3.
Doors at 3. 10 bands. I think
21 plus.
10 bands. Anyway, that's on a side note. So I think there's already kind of a metal community in Menominee. As I was saying, I don't know of any bands that have come out of Menominee or the area, but they seem to accept this thing, which is very, very cool.
Yeah, and anywhere that we can play and
and support and all that fun stuff. So anyway, in the vlogs we gave brief kind of sayings about the sets and all the bands and stuff. And I don't know if there's anything else we want to before we get to the merch hall.
Well, are we gonna go through each band?
Oh, of
or
course
are we
we're
gonna
going to
go
go through
merch first?
Well, we'll do both at the same time.
Okay. Sounds good. Yes.
Okay, so first up, our buddies who I've known for frickin' ever, it feels like. Bloodwar. At least Dave and Juan Carlos I've known for, because they're the two like consistent members.
Who you've known forever. I mean,
who I've known forever, who I've introduced her to.
Learning. And yeah.
So yeah, she didn't have this figure, so she got that.
I did that one.
She did not have. She's borrowing my copies of these 2 albums, which is their first album, their second album.
Which I need my own because.
Which she needs her own.
Somebody's gonna hit the jackpot. Probably Tim. It's gonna hit the jackpot when we combine forces.
Oh.
Because we're gonna have duplicates of a lot of stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she picked up. So this is the latest shirt that they released that I already pre-ordered and
really
got,
freaking cool.
which is just fucking cool. And again, we'll just do a blanket statement that that even the band we didn't know, which was Witchden, even talking to them, I mean, and we know, I mean, Blood War are great people, Cassock are great people. They're all just the nicest fucking people.
Yeah.
I mean, just,
oh my gosh.
oh my
like,
god.
Oh my gosh. Like no rock star stick up their butt, like
Not
I'm
at
better
all.
than you
Not
or
at all.
anything.
Yeah.
So notes for Blood War. Wow, the front man, like I just was captivated, like just his style and just like, well, all of them actually, just watching them all do their thing. Just, I love watching that. I'm always watching things. I'm watching you. I'm always watching. But shiniest freaking drum kit ever. That was so cool. That clear with the gold, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. I don't know who made it or whatever. You probably know him a lot more than me. I know you do.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a Tama kit. But anyway,
So cool.
so you know, typical auditorium with the boxes and the thing, and for Blood War, it was pretty. The stage was pretty bright.
Really bright.
And she said later, yeah, it felt like high school, and I'm like, yeah, it did kind of feel like talent show, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Like a high school talent show.
Yeah, they really had the lights up bright, and it's like.
And because of that, in other shows we've seen them, it's been darker and whatever. And I think the reason the kit looks so shiny is because we hadn't seen it in that light from like almost like stage level.
So I don't know if you guys can see this like at all or not, but closer further, but it literally looked like high school talent show.
It didn't sound like it.
No,
but,
oh no, man. Well, actually, my last high school talent show that I saw was we had some kick-ass bands that did some they did some Aerosmith and really rocked it. And
nice.
One of them actually, I believe, was Atom Fuel was in.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that brand. What's that? Not Frozen.
I don't know.
Why? Anyways, yeah. And I remember that. And like, we seriously had a kick-ass talent show. So, but not as kick-ass as last night, because that was.
Well, yeah.
But it was so funny. Like, we didn't realize that when we were watching Blood War that it looked talent show-esque. Like, no, like. Not
well, we didn't realize until
right.
the next 2 bands came up.
Yeah, and they were like, wait a minute.
So again, we hadn't seen his kit from that angle and like stage level and in those lights. So that's probably
the stage was pretty tall.
Yeah, it was a fairly tall stage.
Yeah.
Again, like old school theater. I mean, and of course, the best part for me. Okay, the most annoying part was the fact that they weren't playing any music between acts.
Oh yeah.
And the silence, that was just weird.
Yeah, you were talking to some guys and they were like, "Oh man, yeah."
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah. But the coolest part was, because it's an old school theater and that's what they do, between each act, they close the curtains. And then
big, awesome beater curtains.
Yeah, like the big
opera.
velvet ones. Yeah. And I was talking to I don't know his name, the bass player for Casket. And I was like, yeah, they're closing the curtain. He's like, yeah, that just kind of takes the stress off. Oh. Like, you're not sitting there trying to set up and have people in the front row on the phone just kind of like going, okay, let's go. You actually, have a little barrier that you can kind of do your thing and get kind of centered. And yeah. So I'm like, yeah. Okay, if I ever open the club that I'm planning, I'm going to put a curtain on there just because that's cool. I never thought about that before, but that is so effective.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
Just, and then just to see like, and then the curtains open and there's the freaking awesome band. It was just like, yeah, it was really neat. It was very cool. It was a neat experience.
The only thing I felt bad for for Blood War a little bit. It was because they were first out. Most of the crowd, I don't think had shown up yet.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I mean, it was confusing because the poster says 7:30. In our world, it's like, okay, doors at 7:30.
Yeah.
Show at
Yeah.
8:30.
And
Whenever.
even and I was like, what? Are they open at 7:30 or the show starts at 7:30? And I tried looking it up and I tried pretending like I was going to buy tickets online to find out.
Yeah, to see if they were. Yeah.
And it was like, you can't buy tickets online anymore. I'm like, oh crap. So
Yeah, because we're half hour before
yeah,
the show.
But yeah, so we're so used to the doors in the show. Get time for this. Time for this, so that would have been a little helpful, but he did get a good mosh, like a little. Everybody come down.
The very last song, they actually had a pit going, and I told this to a couple people. It's like as soon as I started, I was just like, okay, don't scratch anything, don't break anything, just be cool.
Remember where you are.
Remember where you are.
You have to be good.
But we were talking to Andy, I think after the show, or maybe Juan Carlos, I don't remember. That he was like, I think once the bands came in and saw what they were, it's like, okay, the attitude changed. It's like, okay, we have to
I think that was
be respectful.
Carlos.
Yeah. And we have to be respectful. And I mean, by the sounds of it, the staff was very impressed. And
oh, good.
Yeah.
And the staff was nice there.
Staff
too.
was very nice. Yeah.
They were really nice. I didn't get sneers. Like, look, because his shirt was a little on the side.
Yeah.
A little. I mean, not as bad as Poon Tickler's shirt.
Yeah. The Poon Tickler shirt, which I'm sorry, guys, I don't know if I can wear that in public. Anywhere
Jammies.
ever.
That'll have to be like jammies or I'm washing clothes or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Like that might be too much.
little-
That's too much for Rockfest. And that's saying a lot.
Because there's kids at Rockfest.
There are kids at
If I
Rockfest.
knew there'd only be adults, it's like, fine, whatever. You're an adult, get over it.
Yeah.
But kids,
Yeah.
And
there were
there was a kid
and there
there.
were at least one.
Yeah.
Maybe a
and
couple.
she was having fun, and she was like on the edge of the mosh, like, somebody mosh me, somebody.
Yeah, did you see during
She got a few little moshes.
but I think it was during Preacher Palisade. The one other lady was trying to pull her back, and the mom was just like, "Let her go, she's fine."
The lady was trying. She's a mom,
Yeah, she's a mom. I understand.
Little girl, we don't want you to get squashed, and but the mom's like, "No, she's let her. She wants."
That's
she
and you could see she was just like, "Okay, do I go now? Do I go now?"
She's so cute.
Yeah, she that
oh
was
my
adorable.
goodness! And in
that
her
was
shirt,
adorable.
this is my human costume. Yeah.
That
was
good.
an amazing shirt. And then there's apparently a Tin Man looking like Iron Man guy
that just kind of walks around.
Known to walk around. He's like, they're like, one guy is like, because we were out between sets and getting fresh air, and he's like walking down the street, and one guy's like, dude, you just walk around in that? He's like, yeah, this is kind of what I do. And
they were like, like your job? And he's like, yeah, kind of.
And Buffalo has a Raven, has a guy that dresses up like Raven, dark clothes and wings, and just sits like a gargoyle on like places. Yeah, we have the Raven. Yeah, but we had like I don't know what I should have got his name. He's a Tin Man though.
Yeah, well, I don't think we even got pictures of him because I felt I would feel
some
funny.
people did get pictures of him.
Well, I think they asked first.
Yeah,
and he was like, yeah, of course. So I wasn't just going to start filming him.
He was standing up there during, was it casket set or
yeah,
whatever?
he did come in for a little bit.
Yeah, was standing there, and then people were like, "Oh, pictures."
Yeah.
So but that was an interesting little thing.
Yeah, that was interesting.
But yeah.
Blood War again. Even at this point, you've seen Blood War half a dozen times.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're just awesome.
Yeah, it's so good. Still so good. So, and I'm like, and they're all captivating. Like, you want to look at the front man because he's super captivating.
He's very dynamic. Yeah.
There we go, dynamic. And then, but like, you want to look there, and you want to look there, and also just badass. Like, it's just like. But then what was that noise that drummer just made? Something like that. I'm like, what was he hitting there? What piece of his kit do I want to steal this time? Because
she always wants to steal.
If I got to steal pieces of everybody's kit, I'd probably have a kit for myself now.
Oh, you'd have a couple kits for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Because it's like, this one makes that sound.
Though you never want to steal a bass drum. Very rarely do you want to steal a bass drum.
Oh, for me, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a rare that I like.
So you would have kits, they just wouldn't be full kits.
Eventually it would be. But I just steal one of yours. Haha.
It's true. I got to. You could borrow one.
Yeah. It's so sweet.
Anyway, so that was Blood War. They're as I said, they're always awesome, and they're just the nicest people. And Juan Carlos' wife Jenny is there, and she's just awesome. And her brother is the drummer. And then the drummer's wife is the merch person.
Okay.
I forget her name. I should know her name. I forget her name. But yeah, so it's very much like a family thing.
Something? I don't know.
No, Jessica. I think it's Jessica.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Jessica.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. So again, that's like a whole family thing, and which is just awesome. But the reason we bring up the whole talent show thing is because the next band that was up, opening the curtains, was Witch Den, who I had heard but had never seen.
Been on my list for a long time.
Been on her list for a long time. Powerful. They were powerful.
It was like a whole theatrical experience.
Yes, for sure.
The cloaks and the makeup and the presence and the sound
and the presence and
clips
the lack of light.
Yeah.
It was dark, and even I think the guitar player on the far side was even like, because he had a light on like above him, and he was telling him to turn that one off. So pretty much it was just like the LEDs they had on the side, and then I think they had some sort of lights underneath their speaker covers to glow the symbol that they had.
Oh man, and these like beautiful green, like their symbol is green, but like light boxes or something behind them, whatever you want to call that.
I don't think it was because I think there were covers for the speaker, and I think they just had a light either on the bottom or underneath,
but like
shining
showing
out.
through, like
but showing through,
box.
Yeah, and I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see.
Yeah, probably because there's the plastic.
Because the glare.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Whoops.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
Oh.
It's okay. It's been through worse, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's really cool.
So yeah, I already had their second two albums, so I got a copy of this one, but she, of course, being the fiend that she is, had to get all three. So that was the first album. This is the second album.
And that's just cool artwork too. I mean,
yeah.
Come on.
Salt the Earth, not Salt of the Earth, but Salt the Earth.
That's a totally different thing.
Which is a completely different idea.
They had like bones, like.
On their merch table they had
like real bones.
Various real bones just kind of
merch table,
hanging out.
So yeah, it was.
You can't see that at all, but that's okay.
Yeah, go down a little. Other way. Oh, anyways.
Anyway, you get the idea. And then
I thought he was going to get one of those patches, and I'm like, that is so cool, and he's like, no, I want the other one. I'm like, no, like go up a little more so they can see the the moons, yeah, and the skull, and I was just like, I need that. Then if you're not gonna get it, I want it.
Well,
I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
I
It's
said I
badass.
would get her. I'd get one eventually.
Yeah,
Because these are the big back patches.
yeah.
I
I thought it was just a poster or something.
So I have to. I mean, you could put it up as a poster.
I'm gonna probably put it up as a poster. Yeah, that's really.
So I already have the Blood War back patch that I don't know what I'm gonna do with yet.
put it on the back.
Well, yeah, but I don't know where.
Yeah,
But they did have these,
and that's really freaking cool too.
and I don't know.
That looks really good. You can see that good.
Yeah,
Yep.
but it's like more glittery.
It's really sparkly.
It's really sparkly.
gold
It's very
glitter.
nice.
Sparkly.
And then we both got.
I fell for a long sleeve. It's hard for me to buy long sleeves.
Oh,
'Cause I usually get too hot.
so
But this was just so with a hand there and everything. That is so. And then the bones on the arms. Like, I could not say no to this. I mean, this is just badass. Like, yeah. I had to.
and then when they originally announced this one, because I saw it and I'm like, yeah, I think I need that one. I didn't know it had a back. So we're gonna
Yeah, that looks really good.
hold that there for a second so y'all can read that.
It's really cool.
Yeah, they kind of they took the night for me.
Oh my gosh, that's an experience. Like, that is everything and more than I was expecting.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
Stage presence, and then like just so like artistically badass and musically badass, and just all of them up there. And I'm like looking at this, look over there, look over there, look at the their bass. I think that's the one where I said the bass player. Like, how big was that bass?
Oh yeah, we'll have
'Cause
to look at the
it looked
footage.
Like,
Yeah,
like giant, and he was like doing the moves like the kind of on the crowd thing, and like just they're very moving around and doing their thing.
a little. I mean, a little
in
bit.
their
Yeah.
spaces,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but yeah.
They did have a good presence on stage, like almost like a weight on stage, like yeah, very.
Just badass.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Very cool,
I
very cool.
like that. I did like them a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, musically they're a lot different than you would.
I got
imagine,
witchy,
I
deathy,
think.
badass. Lots good sound, lights, ambiance. Like just they did it.
Yeah,
Like,
the whole package was just fantastic.
it was really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I like them. I would love to see them again.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Still on my list. Still. Here. Still around. Who's next? Ooh, I know who's next.
So
Long awaited.
long awaited. Okay, so I've known these guys for a while, like 5 years, 6 years maybe. I saw them on Facebook. Was kind of like, oh, because I think I saw Megan Megan put out something. I was like, as you do, it's like, oh, she's cute. Sorry.
True.
And
True though, true. Okay.
and then watching, I said, oh, she's in the band. And then I saw footage of the band, and I was like, oh shit. And then I started following them and buying a shit ton of their stuff. And I was
he
like,
does that.
then it's like, okay. And that's when I was doing a lot of the band interviews for MMP. And I was like, okay, I have to interview these guys. And so, yeah, I was familiar with them and interviewed them before I even saw them play because they don't get to the cities that often. Because they're at a Madison. And that, of course, is our buddies. Just a name. Casket Robbery. So my first time seeing them was last year at Midwest Death Fest, which she unfortunately had to miss because she was having surgery.
Yeah.
And then second time I saw them at Skyway, which was March, April of this year, we had a blizzard.
Yeah.
And so she couldn't make it. So yeah, she'd been waiting at least a year, if not longer, to see this band.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we got in there, and the setup was kind of cool because you walked in the door, and literally, merch was over here, and the auditorium was over there. It was all within like,
Yeah.
100 yards or something. It was all very compact. So I kind of looked over and said, because we were kind of wondering where to go, and I looked over and okay, I see merch, we're good.
Yeah.
And then Megan was sitting there, so we went over and said hi and introduced, and you talked her ear off for about 5 minutes.
Oh my goodness. She's just so amazing, and she's just amazing. And so I see, because Facebook friends and stuff, and then with the band stuff too, and I see stuff, and that's just amazing, and I needed that because I'm going to drink a beer tonight, maybe just to put that on my beer.
Yeah, that was their slogan, one of the earlier slogans for. I have that T-shirt.
I know you do because I want to steal it.
You can.
But, I'll borrow it, I guess. Yeah. But
and then those are the new picks.
Cool.
Which are just.
I was like, do I get to take a pic or not? I don't know. I kind of want one, but I don't want to just like grab things. And I don't want to,
And then side note, because they had a pre-order merch bundle with the tour shirt and this pic and a patch and a thick autograph picture and a laminate and all that. But as I was talking to Corey, he was like, sorry, I didn't say anything. The T-shirts are on back order, so we don't have them. I can give you everything else. And then just ship the T-shirt, and I was like, "No, just ship it all at once." I mean, it's fine.
It's all right. They got so much other stuff to worry about that
Oh, absolutely.
Trying to carry that stuff around, I would be surprised they would try to do that in the first place because that's, they got so much stuff.
I mean, it kind of makes sense to have the option to pick it up at a show as opposed to shipping it because that would be easier for them in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have to worry about getting it to the post office.
Other than having to.
Other than having to lug it around
that stuff,
with the 5 other totes of merch that they had, but anyway, so
So I talked her ear off and talked her ear off and talked her ear off and
because of what Megan does. She's a death doula,
which is the most amazing. It's just makes me want to cry every time I forget to think about it. You're an amazing woman. Honestly, that's I'm sure it's a very hard job.
Oh yeah,
but it's a much needed job, and if you work in healthcare, you see you
see shit. Yeah,
you see people that need to be allowed to die, where for whatever reason people are holding on to them, and it's, it causes more pain than not sometimes. But even no matter how the process goes around, how it comes to being, eventually we all die, and we have doulas for coming into the world. So
why don't we have them
we need them for going out. It's once in a lifetime experience, literally, usually for most people. And and families, they need it.
Yeah, because she was saying that she works mostly with the families too.
Because the families, it's I think it's probably harder on the families for someone to die than it is for the person.
Yeah, I mean, in most cases, I would say so.
The person gets to release and to move on to whatever maybe next.
Yeah, and then the family's just kind of stuck.
Yeah, with emotions and
grief and property and official governmental stuff and taxes and getting all that. But
so yeah, I'm just.
But you were. Were you telling Megan about your dad and all that? I was going to jump in, but I'm like, no, I'll wait. Because in my case, it was almost the opposite. Like he was almost, because once we got him in the hospice, me and Jenny and Deirdre, sat there for a long, long time. And we finally was like, okay, he's calmed down, then we can go. And it's almost like he was waiting for us to leave and like be okay. And then he went. Like that next morning, literally, he went. And but that is very cool, and kind of plays in to being the front woman of a death metal band,
Well, you can see themes of her, like, I mean, for
yeah,
crying out loud,
it's
the title,
especially on the new album.
yeah, Rituals of Death. Okay.
Which is an incredible fucking album, and it just plays into it. Yeah, and then.
Which on my copy, I don't know where my first copy went, and it's somewhere in my pile of CDs because I'm a maniac and I'm not organized like him.
We will get to when we organize all of that shit.
So I had to buy another copy.
So and we have no problem giving bands money.
We like to support, honestly. Like, I mean, you're sharing pieces of yourselves, your artwork with your thoughts, your everything, emotions with us. Like, man. Yeah,
and all these bands you can see are putting 150% into these performances.
And in all the band's stage presence and interactions with the crowd. Holy cow.
Which Den, not so much.
Well, because they had their...
But we talked to them afterwards, I think it was the singer that we talked to that we got the merch from.
Yeah, I believe it was.
And he seemed really cool. And
yeah. Oh my gosh. But that's a whole different dynamic where it doesn't really fit into it. But to interact with the crowd. But everybody else, like, wow, you're moshing, like, good, like, look at you guys down there, like, we're so thank you for letting us play at the Mabel, and
everybody was so appreciative and so thankful, and
like, man,
just like we said at pretty much every show we review, because the scene is just fucking incredible.
Yeah, I loved it. But yeah, for seeing Casket Robbery, oh my goodness. Do I get to say what I was, like, so we weren't sitting, so we kind of stood like behind the back row.
We were in a different position for every band.
First Blood War we were on, stage right, I guess you would say, there on the side, and then the other couple bands.
Then we were stage left.
We were on that side,
and then Casket, we were standing in the back behind the last row,
which
was perfect.
And it was perfect.
Yeah.
And then, because how tall the stage is versus how the audience, the chairs, like, go up.
as it goes down.
Yeah. So it, like, by the time you're in the back row, you're actually almost level with stage. So that was really cool.
It was perfect. Anyway.
But and then you could just see. I mean, it was cute. It was like nice enough that you could see everything no matter where you sat.
Oh, absolutely,
really.
And then, they designed that theater really, really well.
And then we didn't go up to the top balconies, but the little side balcony rooms.
Like your little, like your main they would be your boxes in your bigger theaters. Yeah.
And
those are really
we
cool.
went there, and that was a perfect view of the stage. Like, you feel like you're right on the stage almost. And if I had to buy box tickets,
absolutely. If they do another show there and it's not sold out, we'll try to sneak into.
And it was like general admission, so you could sit wherever you wanted. It's
really nice. You pretty much had not free reign of the entire building, but for a lot of it, you could just kind of wander wherever. Which is anyway,
so we were standing there, and if I hadn't already kind of dabbled in their stuff and, kind of knew a little bit about them and seen a little bit of stuff and heard him talk about, I remember very vividly that he was saying, you go and you talk to her at the merch, talk to Megan at the merch, and he's interviewed and stuff, and she sounds like sweet and nice, and, she's, quieter toned and stuff. And Corey is like mellow.
Very mellow.
And I don't know the other people. So, and I'm learning, and so standing back there, and it starts, and she's a different person on stage.
They're all different people on stage.
They all are. Holy cow. And if I hadn't already had that slight pre-exposure to them, I would have fell over. Like, my face, my body, I got goosebumps right now just remembering it. Yeah, if I hadn't already had a slight expectation to know, like, she's sweet and nice, and then she gets on stage and rips your heart out. Like, you're... Her presence, all of their presence. But just her alone, like, when she points out and, like, just, oh my God.
Yeah, she commands that stage.
She does.
Yeah.
And holy cow, like, and then the singing and phenomenal. Like, that whole, there's that, oh my gosh, you guys, like, that is a treat. Yeah. Just.
Yeah.
And it's just the lights and the costumes and how everything, and it's just like, the presence and the music, of course, too.
Obviously, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm just still thought, and I need to see them again. No, too, still on my list.
Oh yeah,
I don't care if I see you now. You're still on my list.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm like rabid. Like anytime we could see New Defective, and you know they're on my list of bands that I need to see every chance we can get. So yeah, my gosh, so good.
And the one I found kind of humorous break in their set because they are very focused and very serious and on stage and all that. As I said, off stage completely opposite almost.
That's interesting how that happens.
But at one point the bass player jumped into the crowd and they kind of ran up the aisle and then ran behind us. And I think he was going to go to the other side and get back on stage, but I think they'd locked that door. So after like 2 seconds, you see him run back and then run back around us. And then he gets on this side and he's in the box for a little bit. And then he runs and eventually gets back on stage. And then, so I'm watching him and I kind of look up. And I think Corey, who was a guitar player, had moved behind the drummer. And Megan just had this look of, where did it go? Okay.
I didn't see that because I was busy watching him.
I just glanced up for a second and saw that Corey was behind the drummer and was like, there's like a whole thing happening that I'm missing.
That was funny.
But that was kind of funny.
That's funny to hear that.
Yeah.
I was looking.
And the other kind of, if you're going to make a faux pas, this is the way to do it. We were standing by Witchden stuff and kind of looking at it, and the drummer for Casket, who I didn't recognize, was standing there, and we were kind of talking. And I'm like, "Yeah, can I buy some of your stuff?" And he's like, "Not that stuff." And I was like, and then it kind of clicked on me who he was. I was like, "Oh yeah, you're the And I turned to the other guy and was like, "I know you. You're the bass player." And he's like, "Really? You recognize me as a bass player?" I was like, "Hell yeah, man."
Yeah, bass players need love too.
Well, and just that player, the bass player. If you watch him, he has that presence on stage. You cannot forget him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he has that. Yeah. And then we sat and chatted for a few minutes, but again, all really, 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 really solid people.
I just let the musicians talk, and if I have anything I might think is relevant, which is too often. But I just like to listen. I like to listen to all you guys talk. So I'm just like in the corner, like listen. So yeah. I mean, so if you don't want me eavesdropping on your conversations, you gotta let me know because it's so cool and interesting. Like same thing as like watching all the different things on stage. I like to hear. I might not understand necessarily everything they're saying, but because it's kind of a different language. But I'm not a musician, so
we'll get you there. So you can at least comprehend and have some idea. Yeah. But anyway, so that was Casket, and they absolutely killed it. Like I knew they would. Oh my gosh. And exciting because we were talking to Megan, and I think we said this in the vlog too, that that they have a deadline for the next album, and it should be out by next summer, she was saying. So that's awesome. More music, and if they're continuing the trajectory of this album, next one's going to be fucking fantastic. Yeah.
We're waiting. We're with bated breath.
But I know you guys are touring for pretty much the rest of the year, so it's all good. Anyway.
Yeah. So we never did go down to the bar. There's like a bar down there that you could go downstairs.
There was a bar that I walked through briefly to get to the bathroom when we first got there, even before we bought tickets, because we walked in and it's got like, you said I had to pee, and I'm like, I kind of got to pee. And I was like, should we do that before we get tickets? Like, and then we saw restrooms downstairs. It's like, we should probably just go.
So we got to see a little more of the beautiful marble stairways.
Oh yeah, and all the woodwork
paneling and Lord,
just. But yeah, I mean the bar looked fairly nice.
And then and then they, I think it was Juan Carlos who said, we know what I noticed at least that I was like. One dude, he was drinking a beer, and I'm like, hey, like, we got, like, sippy cups here? Because you know how if you buy, like, iced coffee or something, you get the cold glass with the lid with the little sippy thing. And so that's what they had the beverages in if you came upstairs.
Which is very smart on their part.
Oh, no, and then go get one of the Mabel cups. Upside-down beer glass thing.
In the gift shop, yeah.
I was going to do that, but so there'll be next time.
Next time. And they do... I'm sure we mentioned this in the vlog too, which is the problem with doing a vlog and then doing this is anyway,
sorry guys.
that they do give free tours of the theater, which
they're free tours. I didn't even know that.
I thought they were free.
Well, probably. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll look into that. But yeah, next time
sure.
we're there, we'll definitely take a tour.
They do have like a donation box. So
and they do have a donation box.
If you go to Como and the conservatory, they have the donation box kind of thing. But which is good. You do want to. It costs money to run things.
Upkeep and all that. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was cool. That beverages. I mean, and people were really respectful. I was so glad. No one brought the beverages down into the pit. Left them back by your seats, and not to spill and stuff. So, very respectful people. Thank you guys for all being
which
so
is very
awesome.
Cool. Very cool, because that just means we can have more.
Yeah,
we're doing anything that there can be more shows at the Mabel.
We are part of the metal family, so it is we. So
the royal we.
Yeah, it is a we. Yes.
The horned we.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there can be more shows at places outside. I mean, nothing against the bars and the breweries and all that, but it is nice to have a more formal venue to have this kind of music in, because I think it gives it a little bit of respectability and a little bit of
Yeah, it is. Like we count. Like we're, it makes us more relevant to the universe. Like not just shove the metal over there where nobody can see it. In
the dirty bar that no one cares about.
Yeah.
And keep the theater for the opera and the classical and whatever.
It's still a relevant musical.
Yeah, and
production.
a very what's the word I'm looking for? We're not a small community.
No,
we're
really
a large
diverse
community. And it's not like it's a handful of people over here. It's like a lot of people. So it's not like you can just shove us in a corner. That sounds like a threat, but it's not.
No, it is a threat. Don't you try to put baby in a corner. Nobody puts metal baby in a corner.
But baby metal, that's a band.
Yeah, I was gonna say
they're touring with Death Clock.
Puts metal baby or baby metal.
I'm halfway tempted to go to that show. I didn't see what.
Where is it? What?
Baby metal and Death Clock.
When? Where?
Sometime in September.
Where?
Close? Minneapolis somewhere.
Well, crap. I want to go.
Okay.
We got to figure out when it is.
As soon as we're done here, we'll look it up.
I need a pen.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's not like we're this like unseen, unknown kind of thing. I mean, it's like we're here, we're metal, we're whatever the chant would be. We're proud.
My ears ringing.
So yeah, it is good to have the infiltrating the establishment a little bit and working with them, not working against them.
And having the respect of them. Like they were decent. Like they weren't like
they seemed really cool.
Creepy weird people go in there. Give us your money and go away. And
it was.
They were really good.
And again, when the person at the candy shop asked us if we were going to destroy the Maple, I'm like, okay, so this is known. Like everybody in town knows that this is happening, and seems to support it, which is very, very cool.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was good for the business. I mean, we did our shopping just candy store, brewery, antique stores. So
and I'm sure looking back is like I'm sure I saw people in the crowd that were at the antique store and the candy store and walking around Main Street and yeah.
Yeah, and the people who actually did get dinner before the show, I mean, but we have a bad habit. Oh no, my bad habit is rubbing off on you now.
Yeah.
So let's forget to eat thing.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, 3 Down, awesome bands. And then we had the one kind of outlier. Putrid Pile, who I first saw again last year at the first Midwest Death Fest, and he closed, and he was the one that like everybody was looking forward to. And I'm like, okay, and then I heard it was a single, it's like a dude, this guy Sean, and I was like, okay,
That looks like a roadie.
That looks like a roadie. And as I mentioned, because again at Death Fest, by the time he came on, I was so like spent from the day that I was barely paying attention. Like enough attention to get the footage that I got. And yeah, I didn't really watch them. I didn't really pay attention. Really. It was just kind of this wall of noise.
It is a wall of noise,
but it's a good wall of noise. So for this one, we were center, but we were down about halfway. So we were like dead center in the theater pretty much when he came on. And after about, 3 songs, I lean over and I'm like, he kind of looks like Mythical Chef Josh. Like in his face, like you could see it, like they could be brothers. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
If you know who that is.
At least he left his shirt on. Mythical Josh without his shirt on scares me.
It's unnerving.
I don't know what's wrong with me, but I don't know, Josh. Keep your shirt on. No nipples in the kitchen.
No. Keep them protected.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got that for free. I don't even know what that is. Mass Murder Messiah. I'm assuming another band that's somehow associated with the whole thing.
There was a lot of merch there that I didn't understand because I don't know enough if they're like joint things that he's worked on or
Huey was talking about
his merch guy. Huey,
his merch guy,
his partner
in crime. Was talking about, what was the one, sexual innuendo,
something
like that. They had I was kind of confused on where all that merch came from, but anyway,
gotta get music.
So yeah, in your impressions of Sean. I think I hope that's his name.
That's what you kept saying. So
that's what I could.
You might need to look it up now. Do you need scissors?
Where's my
sharp?
Box cutter guy? It should be around here somewhere. Anyway,
it's usually on this side.
So
anyways, I was pleasantly surprised by him. I'm not going to touch that. Here's the scissors. Just take the scissors. So yeah, no, I was pleasantly surprised. I do see how you say that it kind of seems like he's mocking because of, the genre. To me, I was looking and I was like, he's exaggerated when he sings and stuff. But I think it's like to make the proper noises, you have to do, like the French speak a lot with their mouths. They, you move your mouth a lot when you speak to get proper everything. And, some people, they talk like this and you don't know what they're really saying, but, there's no movement when they talk,
Right, and some people are more expressive. He's expressive, but just exaggerated.
Yeah, so, yeah. But I don't know. And then you said they reminded you a bit of deterioration. That he reminded you of deterioration.
Yeah, this time around, and after seeing deterioration, it's like very, very similar kind of vibes.
Yeah, like they're they got their own little niche there. So.
Yeah, so there's Mr. Sean, and it is Sean. And, according to this, vocals, guitar, bass, and drum programming. So I think he does everything himself.
Because that was one this morning.
Which is even more awesome.
I was like, we were talking this morning and stuff, and I was like, I wonder how much, we were talking about how some, his father wouldn't have seen a lot of like hip hop and other, and nowadays artists that they don't play a lot of their own stuff. They have the backing tracks there. That's the words I'm trying to say. That your dad would be like, that's not a musician. That's not
playing.
So, but he does. I was like, I wonder how much, is, and, or if he has somebody else that does the drums or somebody else that works with them. But,
yeah, it looks like he does everything. And this is...
That's cool. Yeah. Does that have a date? Maybe on the CD? A lot of times there's a tiny little date on the CD.
2020.
2020. Okay. Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And
so
did he say a new music coming too? I can't remember.
I don't I don't remember if he did or not.
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, and his crowd interaction and appreciation of everybody was just wonderful too. And like between songs, he'd talk a little this.
Yeah, he's an interesting one because he'll come out. I mean, literally just him on stage with 2 monitors with his tracks running, and then he's got his laptop in the back. So he'll come out, play a song very aggressively, go 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 go, and then stop, and then have to go back to his computer, click to the next one, get a drink of water, come back, make a joke, whatever, talk a little bit. Next one. Boom, boom. So it was longer time between songs.
Yeah.
But it was almost more bang for your buck. Just because.
Oh, there's a lot in each song, man.
There's a ton, and you could tell it was a workout for him because he was out of breath by the end of it. Between the singing and the playing and the lights, I'm sure really, really freaking hot.
Well, it was nice how he said for the lights, "Hey, you guys, I can't see. Turn on the lights. I want to see.
I want to see the people.
I want to see these smiling faces."
And they turned up the house lights a little bit.
Sorry, you need to show that one more time with me not distracting by talking, because that is just amazing.
Yeah, it's a mouse pad.
Yeah. And go up a little bit. Yeah, that is really, like, that's the coolest mouse pad I've ever seen in my life. Like, you have, like, little flame demons going down the side and stuff. And, like, yeah, that is cool. That is badass. And then the merch guy, Huey was like, I have these ones, but these ones are a little brighter. And then he's like, take one of these ones. And
I'll give you one of the good ones.
Yeah,
like,
get one of these nice ones. So, so that was nice. But, yeah, it was really cool. He was like, you know, turn down my lights. I can't see anything. And then the sound guy or whoever it was actually turned up the lights for the audience.
Yeah, the house lights.
So he could see us better.
Yeah,
so
that was just a fun set.
Very fun.
Because I was telling her, Will Marvellis, who everybody fucking knows.
He's a nice guy.
Because Coffin Arts was at Deathfest last year, so I was hanging out with Will when I decided to sit down and kind of be done. I was right by their merch table and we were talking. He's like talking about Sean. He's like, yeah, I've got so many Sean stories, and I'm just like, I just want to be in a room with Will and Sean, just exchange stories. That'd be fucking hilarious.
That would be fun. I'll just sit in the corner and listen to everybody.
Yeah, we'll just sit there and just like
a literal fly on the wall. Buzz. Or whatever they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, merch-wise, they didn't have a whole lot. They had the mouse pads, they had the CDs.
I think there was some patches and stickers. I can't remember.
They had a ton of patches. They actually had like half a dozen patches, which we did not get for some reason. They had a big tapestry, but
They didn't have my size.
They did have shorts.
Yeah.
So
I totally would have got
a
set. And they're soft.
They're very soft.
And breathable. And so you're like basketball shorts or whatever they're called.
Which I never wear out of the house, but I wear around the house a lot.
Yeah. You could bring some to Rockfest for sleeping and stuff.
I thought about that.
So they probably won't appreciate us if we come out of the tent stark ass naked, so.
I mean, probably not. I'm sure they've seen worse, but
I'm sure. But
if we were
respect your neighbors.
If we were in the regular
kids around.
If we were in the regular campsite, I'm sure that's commonplace.
Yeah.
I would assume. We'll talk to the Castro boys about that. But Anyways, I mean that was a very impressive set. That was
I was surprised because I wasn't, because you had told me about his style and stuff, and I was like, okay, we're gonna see how this goes, and is it just gonna be growling, and I'm not gonna feel it, but it's like I could feel it. I'm like, okay, I can see the transitions in song and like where and like it's it's like a whole different vibe, really, but I liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, not blow me away like frickin' Casket when I almost fell over, but a different kind of blow you away, but just high energy and holy crap, and I can totally respect. And how fast can you play a guitar? Very fast.
Yes, that was impressive.
Yeah, and then to have the because you know you got to be able to work with your background, and you know.
Yeah, that was probably the most impressive. I mean, he's been doing it forever, obviously, so he knows what he's doing. But the fact that he wasn't using in-ears, he was using actual wedges that they had freaking cranked, and the fact that he could be on time with his backing tracks and playing guitar at the same time,
like so perfect, like I can totally respect. Man, great job. I can totally respect that.
Absolutely. Oh, and then going back to Casket for a second, being where we were, I could actually, because again, when I saw them 2 previous times, I must have been at a weird angle or something, so I couldn't really watch the drummer. Holy shit. Austin, I believe his name is. Dude. Very clean. I mean, not to sound insulting, not as clean and precise as the drummer for Torment, who was just like insanely fucking good. But your blast beat technique with the snare hand, actually both hands, was just so smooth and just so good.
I like
good
that.
job.
I'm learning stuff. Yeah, I'll be like, ooh, what's that?
Yeah, I think I spent most of that set watching him.
I didn't watch much of him because I was busy on the front side. Like, so next time I'll have to immerse, because usually I'm watching the drummer, like, you know, or the front man or woman, and then but I was not sorry, guy. I was so busy looking at and Megan kept commanding
people,
and I'm like, yes. What are we gonna go storm the castle? Are we gonna have a witchy bonfire in the middle of the forest? Like, what are we gonna do? I'm in. Yeah. I don't know what it's gonna do, but I'm in. Yeah. So like, I was like I'm like, I can't not. So I'm gonna have to watch Mr. Drummer Man next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just.
Yeah.
That was a freaking awesome show altogether. Like, man, the venue, the people, everything. It was just. I mean,
it was just.
Yeah.
Yeah, and combined with the wedding, that was.
That was
hell
a
of a weekend.
Oofda. Like, today's supposed to be a resting day. We're kind of resting.
We're resting. We're not really doing anything.
Yeah. We're just sitting here talking to you guys, like, you know, so.
As we do. Yeah, and then so we left there and eventually stopped at Quick Trip because...
Yeah, I needed caffeine.
She needed caffeine, and we were both, like, starving.
Yeah.
So we picked up some gas station food.
Which was, yeah.
Yeah, and then came back here and literally within...
It was like half an hour tops.
Oh, I was going to say, between getting in the door and crashing in the bed was, I mean, I would say no more than 15 minutes.
Maybe 15 minutes.
I mean, it was quick. We were both
was pretty
exhausted.
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a couple minutes on the couch and then, okay, get ready for bed. And yeah, we laid down our heads. And
yeah, as soon as we both lay down, it was like we were out.
Good night. It was like nothing. Like, I don't remember trying to fall asleep at all. I was tired. And I drank almost a whole energy drink on the way home.
Yeah.
And I was still so freaking tired. Like, that got us here safely. But when it was bedtime, it was bedtime. Yeah. So that was good. I mean, we slept good and woke up this morning. We feel good. And I mean, I feel good.
Yeah, I mean, because this one commented, "Oh, I'm so thirsty today," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's because between the brewery and Quick Trip, we didn't drink anything.
Yeah,
we didn't eat anything. We didn't consume anything for like 6 hours.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, yeah, that might be why I'm a little thirsty.
Yeah, because I got up. The first thing I did before I even made coffee, I got a cup of ice water because I was like,
just needed.
Yeah. As our friend Putrid Pile up there said, this is the Mabel makes you thirsty. Yeah, you know, all that old wood, because wood, you know, everything sucks up moisture, and you know, that old stuff wants moisture. So
yeah, for sure.
It just pulls it out of you.
Yeah, and he went through 2-3 big glasses of ice water.
At least 2.
At least 2. Yeah, I mean, the man was working. I mean, not all the bands were working. I mean, that was but yeah. So hopefully things went really well, and they will have more shows at the Mabel, which would be awesome.
Like, we got smiles on the way out from the one gal that was helping run
Oh,
the
absolutely,
thing.
yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
they must be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so,
we
yeah.
got these heathens and
And they didn't tear down the
alright,
joint, so
you
I
know?
think they might be okay.
Gosh, they almost seem like normal people.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Yeah. No, that was just fun.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Anyways.
But again, thanks for coming along and all that stuff.
Thank you guys. We love you guys.
Love you.
Don't be a dick.
If you feel like, you know, doing the subscribe thing and the bell thing and
We
all
have to
that.
help Amanda. Said she was trying to subscribe, but it wouldn't let her.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's happening, but she
Okay,
said
that's
she
weird.
was trying to subscribe and she couldn't get it. So
Okay, so we'll have to
just,
look at that.
sorry, I just remembered that, guy. So I just wanted, or if anybody else has trouble with something, you know, let us
Yeah,
know.
if you have
or do the things.
trouble subscribing, just leave a comment and I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but it'd be good to know.
There's probably some kind of support somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'll look at the back end of the channel and see.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we love you. You can do the things wherever they are, and yeah, we're gonna just keep talking your ears off all summer long. Ha ha.
And all winter long, and all summer long, and all winter long, and all summer long.
Yep.
You got this forever. And it's on the internet, so we.
Oh yeah.
There
so
forever.
Yep, forever. Yep. That's cool.
But anyway,
Bye-bye.
we'll see you.
Sweet girl, I'm caught between a conversation